Hello, I'm going to be playing Crusader Kings 2. If you have any requests as to which nation I'm going to play, hit me up in those messages. Essentially, I have the Council mod, which makes the game far more challenging because the Council generally has some power and you have to actively increase the absolutism of the state. I might also go on to history spiels while I'm at it, but that's not the most important thing. Alright, so because I have the Charlemagne and Old Gods DLCs, I can play in the Viking Age or the early Middle Ages. So if you click Custom Game Setup like any decent human being, you can see the Byzantium, the Seljuks, France, the Holy Roman Empire. That's a fun start point. You have Boleslaw the Bold, you have the Arpad dynasty, which was a dynasty in Hungary for hundreds of years, just as the Piast dynasty was in Poland for hundreds of years. Far more consistent than their Western counterparts. I really enjoy playing earlier. I think the best start points are in the Viking Age, but I also have a bias in starting as early as possible. Okay, I think... I play as Byzantium far too often and restore the Roman Empire. I recently played a game as a High Chief in Poland, and I founded the Kingdom of Poland. As you can see, the religion is not reformed. It's the Slavic pagan faith, which already has some challenges since the succession type naturally leads to fragmentation. Primogenitor, all of your titles go to your child, whereas Gavelkind, your titles are split among your children, which if you have a lot of children, especially when your religion allows you to take 3 concubines, all providing inheriting children, your titles naturally end up being split up. Even past that, they are tribal, which means their economy is completely horrible. While they sometimes have more troops, they have inconsistent power levels, depend on how much your vassals like you, and mostly are just light infantry. The red speck there is a merchant republic. You see the kingdoms in England. You have Scotland, which at that point in time was still tribal, just like Ireland. George R. R. Martin's 7 Kingdoms were based on the 7 Kingdom period of England, which lasted for some time. We have Lombardy, Bavaria, Saxony. I'm not entirely sure that I want to play in this start point. It's entirely unbalanced. That is Karl, known as Charlemagne. Carla Magna, Karl the Great. The Latinized Frankish language became French. I'm going to play in the Viking Age, and if you have a problem with that, you can just have a problem with that. Why would I play in the Viking Age if I weren't planning on playing a Viking? Okay, so this individual, if you've ever seen Vikings on Hulu, it was based on this individual's father, Ragnar Lothbrok, the first Viking to sail west officially. The description for this time period is by the middle of the 9th century, the Norse raiders and adventurers known as the Vikings had already begun to set their inevitable mark on the map of Europe, establishing realms in Russia and the British Isles and traveling and raiding as far as the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. The Caroling rulers, descendants of Charlemagne, ruled the mighty realms of France, Germany, and Italy, while the Muslim region was now firmly established in Spain under the Umayyads, if I'm saying that correctly. The Byzantine Emperor held on, though suffering under the increasing pressure from the Caliphate and the Bulgarians. West of the fractured steppes, the Magyars were poised to make their claim on the Carpathian Basin. Islam was spreading rapidly in Persia under the rulers such as the Saffarids, had penetrated into the Indus Valley. And the Hindu Pratihara dynasty was expanding. So, they have changed the description, not the description I was hoping for, but still fairly informational. Yeah, I'm not going to play over there. I don't like it. It's not because I don't like the region. It's just, it's not as fun. So, this is one of the few start points where you can play as a feudal pagan and actually have a fighting chance. I mean, you can play as Pomerania, which, yes, the dog Pomeranians were named after the region of Pomerania, which is now owned by Poland. An interesting development, to be sure. So, yes. The fun thing about the Norse is that they can also raid people, rather than just straight up conquering them, which is also fun. Let's see. Aztec invasion, let's have that occur randomly. The Mongol invasion. Okay, I must explain the Aztec invasion. So under the Sunset Invasion DLC, the Aztecs at some point invade Europe instead of Europe invading the Aztecs. Which, if you have the EU4 DLC, you can... That'll unlock some extra things, such as feudal Native America in EU4. The Mongol invasion, let's have that occur randomly. Turkic conquerors, let's have that occur randomly. So essentially I'm generating a very unstable universe. So I'm going to be scrambling to assemble my power and hope to hold on whenever the Aztecs invade. I might be an apostate and give up my religion so that I am not entirely destroyed as a dynasty. I don't think I need to change anything else, especially since I want to play on Iron Man. I don't really respect playing on anything else. So with that, Iron Man of Jorvik. Jorvik is, if I'm saying that correctly, is the Norse pronunciation of York. York was... Yeah, for the reasons that I'm about to play right now. Oh yeah, you see that fat stack of soldiers? These are my invading soldiers. This is the invading army supposedly trying to invade England. Now I have the benefit of this county, York or Jorvik, having been converted to Germanic, the religion of my character. The moral authority is 30%. It has a lot of special abilities that Catholicism does not have. Now, Catholicism is an established religion. It's far more resilient to heresy, conversion from other religions, and it's just a more stable religion in general. Pagan religions are more aggressive and less stable. No surprise there. The modifier, which Catholicism has no modifiers, unfortunately, I would challenge that. The levy size is increased by 30%, and the retinue size is increased by 50%. Now this does make sense considering the Norse faith was more warlike in general. Now this is calculated by some very simple things. We control 3 holy sites. It is not an organized religion. If it was, that would be another 20%. Every consecutive war, holy war, or conquest we win will generate additional things for us. So this war is the Sons of Lothbrok invasion of Northumberland. The contested title is the Kingdom of England. If we look at this, the de jure realm is going to be all the way up to that point, probably where Hadrian's Wall was built. Which means if I am successful in this war, I will take these 5 counties, and these 3 will remain outside of my control. Now, because I want to be as efficient about this as possible, I'm going to carpet siege. If I'm not careful, however, I will be defeated. You want to fight your battles with your armies concentrated, but you want to siege without them being concentrated. Sun Tzu in his Art of War said avoid lengthy sieges, beat your enemy on the field. Well, in this game, you can only win 75% of the war score through battles, and you have to have at least 25% won through occupation. And if you think about it, nobody is going to give up their land and castles just because you beat them on the field an inane amount of times. If they're not going to take your castles, you're going to hold on to them, especially if they are a heathen or an infidel, as Catholics thought that the Norse were. I am going to make my focus business. I'm a business-minded Norse. Now, Norse is the culture. The Germanic is the religion. A common misconception, probably because Norse Germanic was a specific strand of the religion. Considering it was a very decentralized religion in general, it makes sense that every culture would have their own take on it. I'm going to start with Become Exalted Among Men. Are there any good... Ooh, geniuses. Well, I do like to try to play the eugenics game, but the last time I tried to do that, I got punished by the game for it. I tried to marry a genius, and my first child was slow, and my second one was an imbecile. I don't know where that came from, but it was unfortunate. She's kind of old, although she's got great traits to be spouse to a ruler. She's landed. I will suffer prestige penalties for marrying below my rank, but all of her stats are very high. Partially because she's a genius. The other part because she's a mastermind theologian. Yes, that is the wonderful thing about the pagan faiths, is they do give more power to women in a sense. Still, not as much as they should be given, but more, which is better. So I'm going to marry this person. I'm going to designate my titles. I generally give my designated regent position to the person with the most stewardship, which in this case is not very high. That is a competent administrator. He is also consequently my marshal. Making the marshal the regent. Couldn't that be a risk in real life? Yes, it absolutely could be. The court physician is dictated by the learning skill. I'm going to give it to... No, I'm not going to give... Okay, he's got a much better learning skill. I have to give it also to my marshal. So in real life, this would be a major intrigue risk, and I would never entrust all that power to one person. He could poison me, but not kill me, have me sick for a long time, be my regent, and then assume power, and then when I die, he would have full power. That would be unfortunate. But perhaps I'm too paranoid for my own good. These minor titles, aside from giving the individual some prestige each month and a tiny salary, they increase your opinion of you. Since I don't have a lot of vassals, this is not as important as it is going to be later on in the game. But some of these are my family members, and giving them prestige is actually fairly important. The court tutor. I don't know that any of these people are qualified to be the court tutor. Yeah, they're not. No offense to them, but offense intended. Yeah, you're a much better commander than my son. He may be a herdman, but he may not be a commander. Unmarried heir. Oh my goodness, my heir sucks. Not only is he a legitimized bastard, which I have nothing against bastards, I loved Alexander Hamilton, but he gets -1 diplomacy, so a small negative. His education was horrible. He is a misguided warrior, which means he gets +1 martial and -1 learning. So no benefits there. He is stubborn. Vassals dislike him more. He is greedy. Better for taxes, but again against the diplomacy. He is honest and gregarious, so he's decent on diplomacy, but not good. He's not above 8 on anything, and 8 is considered decent, par for course. So his base traits are also a problem. This is what I was saying about the pagan faiths, is I'm Gavelkind, and I'm limited to Gavelkind or elective Gavelkind. Now the benefit to that is I have 30% increase on how many personal titles I can have in my demesne, which is an old French spelling for dominion. But I do want to centralize the state. Speaking of which, okay, so I do have absolute rule. That is in fact wonderful. If I can form the Kingdom of England before this guy dies, which is unlikely, he's 42, then that would just be perfect. I'm going to increase centralization now, and consequently increase the amount of titles I'm able to hold. Now I speed it up pretty fast. Set crown focus here. Build castle fortifications to withstand siege. Right now I care more about gold than prestige, considering I'm building a new England to my own designs. Mercia and Wessex have both joined with Northumbria against me. Also the chief of Osrige, which is in Ireland. So a significant number of enemies have joined against me. And I have my brother, King Bjorn Ironside, as my ally. Let's see where he's at. He is the petty king of Svithjad, or precursor to Sweden. So we should form an alliance. He says yes. How about we form an alliance? He says yes. But we form an alliance. Yeah, so Ragnar Lothbrok's children accumulated an extraordinary amount of power. I'm going... Oh, how about I offer to join your war? I do not want to help him take England, considering I want all of England to myself. But I am willing to help him invade Scotland. So, 3 allies. That's wonderful. I'm not going to call them in. I do not need them yet. I tend to play this game conservatively. I use allies for more of an insurance. I don't tend to call that in. Partially because when you call an ally in, they dislike you. Yes. Blessings upon your house, dear brother. I gladly accept your offer of assistance in my war. Let our enemies tremble. I'm pretty sure they're... England is not very prepared for all of our prepared invasions. Yes, there's the ally I just joined. He is taking East Anglica. It's time to bring my... No? Looks like they're marching away. That skull means they're taking attrition. 2.5% of their total forces in that area, if they leave them there, will die each month due to a supply limit. For some time, my wife, witch queen... Oh, her name's a witch queen. Cool. I guess my wife is a witch. What can you expect from a bunch of pagans, huh? I'm just kidding. Alright. Okay. This is interesting. As the enemy draws near during the battle, an uncontrollable rage begins to swell within you. You furiously bite down on the edges of your shield in an attempt to devour it. Trembling with anger, you then raise your great axe and charge howling into the enemy ranks. Many of the cowards attempt to flee at the mere sight of you, but your axe has no mercy to spare for them. Must kill more. My character has just gained the trait Berserker. Now he has a lot of military traits. He is a skilled tactician, so personal combat skill. He is a Viking, more martial ability and personal combat skill. He is a berserker. It subtracts from his diplomacy. I wonder why. He has poor diplomacy. But when you're just deciding to conquer people, in a sense, you've made your military capability its own form of diplomacy. This military ability of 27 says, I do not need diplomacy. He's a hunter. It increases pursuit on the battlefield. He's ambitious. It increases everything. Wroth, more military. Cruel, morale damage on the battlefield. It makes your vassals dislike you, increases intrigue, decreases diplomacy, but it's a great battlefield modifier. And again, brave. More martial, more personal combat skill, and morale defense. So he has a total personal combat skill of 6. That is incredible. I might want to get into dueling someone, except I don't have any rivals, so I have no one to duel. My wife is pregnant. As if I didn't have enough sons. Why did I get... Okay. I shouldn't have gotten married, probably. Oh. Oh, no, you don't. How dare you try to take back your castle. Get out. Castle fortifications have been built in Jorvik. Castle town. I shall expand. I want to increase that as early as possible. Because it will generate income essentially until the end of the game. And it is a permanent revenue increase. Ah, nobody has ransom to pay for him, huh? I'll probably sacrifice him in my next great blot. I have nothing to be ashamed of. That is the type of thing this person would say. And he got the proud trait. Well, does not surprise me. My commander, my half-brother, was killed. Ah, one of the sons of Ragnar. He was a great commander. Probably would have given him land. Alas, he is dead. This guy, I'm going to roleplay a little bit. Since he's a berserker and all of these things, he is an aggressive leader. Alright. That detachment, take that. You finish taking that. Just ransomed him for 25 ducats. Ugh. Blasted traitors. Flat terrain. Almost all of England is flat terrain. Now I have 2 combat modifiers. Perfect. The rest of these forces are joining. Oh, I had another son. Oh well. Oh, that's not my war, that's his war. What? I have made a grave error. I joined his war, and now he took all the land I was trying to take. That's absolutely horrible. Well, the cheater in me wants to Control-Alt-Delete and start that over, but I have to accept it as what happened. Perhaps my stupid brother just is not to be trusted. That type of thing happens in real life, right? Alright. Dismiss levies. You cannot declare war while you have levies raised. I wonder if I can attack my brother for that stuff. Ooh, I can make him my vassal. I will form England yet. He thinks he's the treacherous one. Well, I am subjugating him, and he will swear fealty to me. We will see who is truly superior on the battlefield. Since these castles have only recently been vacated, I am at full ability to... Oh, I better win that battle, otherwise I'm screwed. Yes, there we go. Yes, I will join your war. I might not do anything, but I will not be an alliance breaker, no. Oh, it's against Lotharingia. Why would you... Oh, you're conquesting Ostfriesland? Why would you do that? This is a pointless place to take. It's completely disconnected from your territory. Huh. Yes, these castles have been recently vacated, so they have very little garrisons, which is why I am comfortable assaulting them. The I'm sorry I didn't read that. The Varangian Guard was formed. The Byzantine basically recruited Norse warriors to protect him because he couldn't trust the people in his own court. So he wanted people loyal only to the Emperor. Historical fact. There we go. I have defeated you. And now you are just a chief. And you are all my subjects. Now it is my territory in a roundabout way. I have vassals. Now. Oh yes, I have levies raised again. I had best take more territory. No. I would prefer to take territory with a port and in my de jure territory. Which is why I am preferring Lindsay. The castle of Gainsborough has fallen to the Norse troops. My wound has turned into a scar. My health is no longer at risk. What? Can't believe I took so many losses. Okay. My great army has greatly diminished, as you might have noticed. My territory has greatly increased. I will take Warwick itself. That's the capital. Since it's not a vassal, his levies are not present. I will not let you take back the castle that I have just taken. There. Can give my horrible son, who I do not like, and give him the temple. Is he still my heir? I hope not. I was trying to disqualify him. That would be too convenient, probably. Oh, perfect. We'll give you the city of Boston. There you go. Now you control Boston. Now these two counties are the crown lands. Everything else is owned by vassals, such as this guy. Now, if he were to die, I would own his county as well, which is precisely what I intend to happen. Am I saying murder makes a stronger, better kingdom? Yes, I am. I am going to continually go to war with the kingdoms of England to take what I consider to be ripe for the taking. Historically, the Norse took Sicily even. Normandy means Norse, or Norman means Norseman. So William the Conqueror was descended from the Norse. So in a roundabout way, the Norse did in fact conquer England, just in 1066 instead of 867. Oh, they're going to poison the Duke of Norfolk. Ah, okay. So he managed to evade the snake, and the guards caught the serpent, and the seller identified me. So now this vassal hates me. He knows I tried to kill him. And my wife is pregnant. How did she become a baron? I thought that is a... That is a bishopric. Going to continually build up my capital and make it more and more superior every day. It cannot depend on the military ability of my excellent leader forever, so I must increase its base capacity. Yeah, stay out of all factions, please. He laughed at the evidence, flat out refusing to stop meddling in political factionalism. He will live to regret this. He's mad that I stole his kingdom. I would be, probably, if I were him. Oh, I was actually. I'm not giving him a seat on the council, even though he's the most qualified person for the job. He is my enemy. A loyalist, too. I'm giving the council positions to people who are A, more qualified, and B, of a higher rank. This one is scarcely more qualified, but of a much higher rank. And he is now a much more loyal vassal than he was. My son is not qualified. I'll try to convert these Catholics to my religion. He's trying to convert me to basically Norse Satanism. I'm gonna let him try to convince me a little bit. Oh, it didn't make a very big difference. Okay. No, I am not going to join your Norse Satanic Society. Taking the city of Malden. Yes, I will join your wars. I have not the ships to send very many troops, and I'm preoccupied with my wars. I will not probably send you any troops. Why am I chasing after 300 soldiers? Oh, to kill them. Yeah, I killed all of them. Does that make me a bad... Oh, I don't need to kill you guys. The war score is now at 100%. Yes. He is ready to receive another title. So I will give him Malden. You, I will give you the Temple of Welcome. Trying to keep the titles for myself. Okay. Who else might I attack? This is mine. I haven't fought you, but I'm not sure I want these. They are tribal. And more importantly, not within the Kingdom of England, but in the Kingdom of Scotland. Since I am trying to create the Kingdom of England, it would make poor sense. This gives me a bit of a problem. I have peace treaties with the two people that I want to take territory from. I could attack Cornwall just for the territory. But it seems to me... Wow. How dare they raid my lands? I'm the raider here. I'm the Viking. Nobody Viking's a Viking. I killed 405 people. I hope the junk change. Yeah, they got 31 gold for over 400 people. Can you imagine on the news if it said 400 people just died? Yeah, that would be pretty traumatic, even for a 350 million person nation, and they just lost 400 people for raiding my lands. It's a harsh death sentence, but I doubt they'll send raiders anytime soon. Okay, this plot is getting sluggish. I will send gifts to people who are impressionable, and perhaps they will join my plots. I'm essentially buying the title of Norfolk. Yes, I've gotten it going again. He's dead. People found out it was me. But strictly speaking, I don't care. Oh, he had a son in that time. I'm going to kill a child. I'm going to smother a baby, essentially. It's kind of sad. But the baby is dead. I'm not assassinating him. I'm not the heir. I am the heir to this one. I shall kill him. This is one way to gain titles. It's not a very ethical one. I don't think my character is very ethical anyway. Perfect. How about you? Your heir is this guy. Screw that guy. How about you? Not right now. Yes, perfect. I'm not only inheriting their titles, I'm also inheriting any gold that they had. So those gifts I gave, I'm making it back up. It's interesting, some of these very people who I am assassinating were helping me assassinate the others. It's quite vicious. Why aren't you guys helping? Whatever. He got perforated by arrows. Unfortunate. The most qualified person is so excessively qualified, I don't care about his rank. Partially because all the people of sufficient rank are being killed. He was caught in a deadly arrow crossfire. And the story we concocted about a lone bowman seems to be working perfectly. One less threat to the establishment. I am indeed centralizing the state. Now the crown lands consist of 7 counties. 7 titles. Directly held by the crown. The petty king of Jorvik, that is. I ran out of conspirators. I killed too many of them. Sometimes the greatest expansions in power are done in peacetime. This one has agnatic cognatic gavelkind, which means women can inherit, which means I would have to assassinate 2 little girls if I wanted his title. Now, while it is annoying that he is a different religion than me and holds a title, there's nothing I can do about that right now. And I'm not going to kill that many people for 1 title. This one's Catholic. I can justify killing this one because his heir does not have an heir as far as I'm concerned. No. He's trying to gain a favor from me. Wow, you're trying to usurp my title. I'll make him disappear. Yes, he's dead. The trail of bodies beneath my regime increase. A Norse dystopian kingdom. Who would have thought? Well, anyone in their right mind would know that the Norse kingdom would have been far more cruel. Oh. Now it's just her standing between me and the title. She has no money, which is unfortunate. All of these wars that my allies are fighting are preventing me from holding a great blot and sacrificing my prisoners. I want to kill people in peacetime, not war. He's acted dishonorably toward me. I can imprison him. Now I will ransom him. I gifted him so he'd have enough money for me to ransom him. So I'm getting money out of the deal. Research military technology in my capital. My spy master, I would prefer it if you were studying technology elsewhere. I'm expanding the keep, that is the fortified residence in my castle. So be it, surprise me. Build me a monument dedicated to me. A group of craftsmen have come to your court and shown off their work. They present you with fine goods, of which you are sure there would be a demand for in the realm. Noticing your interest, the craftsmen ask for some capital to start up a workshop, saying they lack the funds to do it on their own. I'll do it. It's a sound investment. So says the king. Military organization and siege equipment. Fulfilled my ambition. Now my ambition is to become king of England. I guess I could become king of Scotland if I wanted to. Going to war. Now, I know this violates the logic I was using earlier about wanting titles in England, but I realized I just need a kingdom title to go bigger than these two duchy titles, which will be broken up upon the death of my king. He's getting a little old. As long as I have a kingdom title to unify the duchy titles, I will be fine. He's going to buy some of my land. Sounds nice. Nice. Defeat the Welsh in battle once again. Oh, I've won. Yes, you must accept my demands. The moral authority of our religion is now 58%, because we have won 18 county conquests and looted 5 infidel temples, built 1 temple, and won 1 successful prepared invasion. So our religion is gaining moral authority. This son's a genius. Perfect. I'm going to conquer more of Wales. I am no longer a berserker. Unfortunate. Victory? Where did that defeat come from? Keep has been built in Jorvik. Now I need better infrastructure technology for my capital to be built any further. Oh, I understand. This was conquered by my vassal, which is why I've just lost it. Because it was easy to take. Yeah, that good investment just turned out to be bad. Didn't get any money back. Ah, I can go to war with Mercia again. Huh. How dare they raid me? Okay. She's not my family member. I don't entirely care about what traits she develops. I'm going to gain the prestige and let her get the lazy trait. Oh. Yes. I don't want to have overcapacity on Dominion size. It's very bad. Which, you may ask, why then am I assassinating the girl to gain her title? I'm doing it for two reasons. The first one is to not have a Catholic in my realm, of a different culture. The second one is to give this title to a family member. Yep. I will give that one to my perfect genius boy, Lothian. He's now the Bertrill of Lothian. I'm going to try to steal her head. Yeah, I added her skull to my trophy. It's a very weird thing to do, but this guy would probably do it. Yeah, I'll accept your invitation. Macclesfield is now about to be mine. Now I must defeat the Mercians on the field again. I don't want to torture you, and I get the piety bonus for not doing it. This guy might actually do it, but... Ooh, if I banish you, I'll get 3.6 gold. You probably think I'm a psychopath at this point. But honestly, whatever helps me win, helps me win. In a sense, I'm a demon playing through a dynasty, and I'm going to make this dynasty win. Besides, my father was killed by these Catholics. In a snake pit. Where's the justice in that? Alright. I've won my conquest of Chester. I'll now grant this title to my genius son. Conquest of POWs, yes please. Defeated POWs on the battlefield, yes. Okay, good news. My horribly ineffective firstborn son died of dysentery. That's wonderful. Now, you may be wondering, if I hated him so much, why didn't I assassinate him? Well, you cannot plot against your children. Only a monster would do that. Never mind that this guy has murdered countless people to steal their titles under law. Oh, yes. Oh, I have a daughter. And I shall give her a title, because I can. Alright, here's what I will do. I make this the county capital. Yes. And now I give it to her. Yes, perfect. I do like being able to give titles to my daughters as well as sons. For I am not as sexist as the people who were in this time. Perhaps I am playing just as murderously as they were, but I am not as sexist as they were. I am now the King of Wales. Perfect. It's pretty ugly. I wish to be the King of England, but I had to do what I had to do. Revoke title, allowed. I love having a law change. You can only change laws so often, though. And I will likely not be able to change this new law. The secession method, that is. I will not kill him, but once I am able, I will make the religious control mandate law, and I will revoke his title. It makes the revocation of infidel titles free. The only people who will be upset at me will be other Catholics. Now, I'm going to vassalize Nantes. Since they have a neighboring county to me, I am a king and they are a county title. He will accept. Now I have more territory than ever before. And now, because I am neighboring him due to this territory, I will offer you vassalization. He also will say yes. Oh, no, that's dangerous. I can't have more than one kingdom at once. Defeated the Welsh in the field, and now I must take his castle. Small matter of a few weeks. Now they're preaching to me about how we're going to go to hell if we do not switch our religions. Well, there are horrors to suffer in this life as well, friend. Now he's in jail. Did I do that just to be a dick? No, I did that so that I could ransom him for 25 gold. Ducats, I mean. I will now attack for Middlesex. Military organization on the up, please. Let's see. I'm going to expand my retinues, my standing armies. Let's see. House Carl. Increased attack and morale. I will need some heavy cavalry, but mostly I'm interested in the House Carls. You will join in the main army for this portion. Every culture has a unique unit that they can use. This one is my unique one. And as also, my unique building will be Housecarl Training Ground, which will increase the number of heavy infantry in my holding and the heavy infantry attack from that holding. Ivar the Boneless has usurped the title. Why are you okay, he's a Catholic. I guess you don't like Catholics. Oh. Oh yeah, he is the one who approached me about essentially the Norse Satanic Society. He tried to recruit me into the Cult of Giants. Okay, so I usurped his title and he gained a new Jarldom instead. He still hates me. He is still mad that I subjugated it. He's mad that I declared war on him. He's mad that I usurped his title. He's mad that I won't let him on the council. And he's mad that I have a title he has a claim on. Oh yeah, and he dislikes me kind of because I'm a known murderer. He also dislikes me because he's ambitious and I stand in his way. Sucks to suck. Where did all my... Oh yeah. All my money went on to building new retinues and the Kingdom of Ireland. Blech, not Ireland, Wales. Slight difference. I mean, they were both oppressed by the English, but they're not the same thing. There was actually a Welsh colony founded near Argentina to prevent the erasure of Welsh culture in the face of the spread of English culture into Wales. An interesting phenomenon, to be sure. Let's see if we're going to win that battle. Yes, we most certainly are. Let's go back to the county we were fighting for. If I have absolute control of it, the longer I hold on to it, the more the war scores in our favor. Don't need it. Alright. Yes. Oh wait, I could have given that temple holding to my daughter. I feel bad now. You can have the barony. And you can have Middlesex. Now my dynasty is greater than ever. Still a small peanut pod. Compare that to the Carling dynasty, descended from Karl the Great. 1386. 2 empires, 34 kingdoms, 19 duchies, and 87 counties, and 1 barony, all held by the dynasty of Karl the Great, known as Charlemagne. Carlomagna. Dismiss writ levies, send the main army home. Now I am a threat. I don't know why I'm not a bigger threat than 7%. Probably because I spent so much peacetime assassinating members of my own. I have not had a moment of peace for 12 years to be able to hold a great blot and have these individuals sacrificed. Definitely a shame. Now I can hold my great blot. I can hardly wait. Wow, some of my Catholic vassals decided not to come. How dare they? He's quoting scripture as he gets hung. That's sad. She's quoting scripture. She's quoting scripture. And he's quoting scripture. All of them were quoting scripture before I had them sacrificed. Okay, so this guy's having sex in public. That's great. Why are you doing that? By Thor. It's because he has the lustful trait. Until next time. Now the armies have greater morale. Well, now I'm a real powerful force in and of myself. I think I'm going to go to war with Lotharingia for this county because it is a holy site. Where is it? There it is. Zealand. Yes. Now, I don't have a lot of ships. That's going to take some time ferrying my troops. Oh, well, some of these I might not be able to take. You cannot come. The rest of you, by all means. I will ferry as many troops as I can and hope that it is enough to win for me Zealand. Now I've got the defending troops on the island to a significant number. If they try to take the island, they will suffer assault penalties because it will be an amphibious assault because we have the ground defended. There we go. Oh. How silly of me. Looks like the Duke of Flanders is getting involved to defend his own territory. Who would have thought? Looks like the Lotharingians are not putting up any fight whatsoever. And there's no system of alliances between the Carolinian kings. They are in fact fighting each other. Now if you look at the dynasties map, Carling has Central Europe. There's no reason why they should not be an extraordinary power in Europe, just as Charlemagne was. But they are fighting amongst each other, just as they did historically. It's like Hobbes' state of nature. If you act in your own interests at every given opportunity in the short run, in the long run, everybody ends up worse off. Misapplication of the selfish bias, if you ask me, considering, well, if you consider it, people say things like racism are taught and that they are not innate, yet the selfish bias is fairly innate, and racism is just an extension of that. Generally, people tend to want to promote whichever group they consider themselves most a part of. In this case, these individuals would have done very great if they'd considered themselves in the aristocratic class and in the Carling dynasty. And then if they'd sought to promote only that one family, they would have best served their own interests. I'm not really... I think they just localized their selfish bias, and it ended up not being very potent. Now, I'm not advocating for being selfish, but I am saying that their selfishness was rendered impotent. Okay, that will be all the... Wait, no, that's not all the troops. I will show the child to become... Oh, this little girl hates me now because I tried to teach her to be brave. Okay. Not sure what this old man was trying to show her to be brave, but she didn't like it. She hates him. Alright, another 240 soldiers off to defend my newly occupied Zealand. Yes, please study military technology in Jorvik. There you go. That is now sufficient. Now, I will look for an army to fight. I found... Oh. I now have 3 city titles, which I didn't want. Okay. My brother does not like me very much. Okay, so I have good news and bad news. I have fairly competent traits. Bad news. I only have 3 primary titles, or 3 counties. I'm gonna play to my strengths. Business again, but this person is a fortune builder. Fortunate trait. I need to put some people on my council. Make up for my lack. Cursed heathens. I want battle with the Lotharingians, but I am getting no battle with the Lotharingians. I'm going to increase burgher taxes. More revenues should now be streaming through the crown treasury. Let's see. The kingdom makes 35.9 gold each year in taxes. Feudal tax of 43, dominion income of 21, church tax of 18, and a tribal tax of 5. Increased my legalism technology. Now, once it's been 10 years since the last law, I will be able to implement the religious control mandate that I mentioned earlier. Dog wanted to learn to whistle. After trying for a while, he asked me, "How come you can do it?" Now I can say 2 things. I can say the annoying thing and say, "It's easy, you can do it." Or I can say, "Not everyone can do it." He has a higher chance to gain brooding if I say it's easy, and higher chance to gain timid if I said not everyone can. I don't want him to get the timid trait. I'm going to say brooding. Brooding is better. It can turn into just, wroth, or envious, most of which are useful traits. Oh, he's not even my family. Why do I care? It looks like the Lotharingians have finally come to party. Defeated them in battle. They probably want their capital back. I am saying, yes, you can have your capital back. I will leave with my armies as long as I can keep Zealand. And he's like, okay. 12-year-old Regency King says yes. If such a thing he is able to do. My young wife has taken a passion for romantic poetry. She keeps reading any sort of romantic poetry she can get a hold of. If I spend 10 gold to get her more to read, she will gain 10% fertility and gain the lustful trait. And she will like me by 3, for my interests are encouraged. If I say that is her interest, not mine, I will gain 5 piety. She will lose 10% fertility, and she will dislike me by -5, for my interests are ignored. I'm obviously going to get her more to read. She wants more literatica. I guess I'm going to get it for her. Alright. Bringing my armies back. So, I have conquered territory in mainland Europe from the Karling dynasty. And furthermore, I've gained a holy site for our faith. Wait, my wife is Catholic. Huh. I'm gonna ask her to stop plotting to kill a member of my family. She's gonna say yes, because she dare not refuse. 17-year-old and already a plotter, huh? Conquest of Gwent. I'm doing this partially for the sake of expansion, but mostly because I need more titles. Oh. Well, now I am a child. It's unfortunate. Now I'm an 8-year-old child king. He has surrendered. That's nice. as you can see, my kingdom is quite powerful now. Not a lot of troops at my king's disposal. 6,000. More than as much as the other European kings, it seems. Oh, not you. I'm doing better than par for course, looking at these people. The Byzantine Emperor has more than twice as much. More money, too. But it looks like I'm on a path of easy conquest. Commander, 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 Herdman, 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 Herdman. Whenever the Nazis occupied Norway, they tried to build a sense of nationalism in the Norwegians under the infamous Quisling regime by calling back to the Viking heritage and reminding them that they were uninvited guests all throughout Europe. I don't think that's the kind of thing a person should be proud of. And it didn't really work. The Scandinavian nations secretly aided England, but I find it interesting that that was the attempt. References to herdmen were made. Okay. I only remember that because I saw the Herdman minor title. Excellent. Well, I've now played as 3 kings, which means my family dynasty is up to 260 for having held 3 kingdoms. I find it interesting that it rewards you for a quick succession of deaths, but your score does not. Now, I've built a powerful Wales. It's a very fun start point. Now, I think that's going to be it for the night. Thank you for tuning in. If you ever want me to do more Crusader Kings 2 as opposed to League of Legends, which I usually play, let me know at some point. Anyway, thank you for watching. As you can see, I have greatly centralized the state and increased the power of the crown.